Today's Hollywood's go-to guy for health and fitness. It's Fitness Confidential with celebrity fitness trainer Vinnie and co-host Anna Vicino.
Your good intentions have been stolen, and I'm here to help you get them back. I am Vinnie and folks, here we are again. It is the Monday show. That's right. It's the one when we bring Anna Vocino in. I call her Anna Vocino, but most people call her the best voice in podcast radio working now or any time in the history of podcasting. Without any further ado, I want to introduce her. I don't want to make her have to wait too much longer, folks. It's Anna Vocino. How you doing, Pumpkin?
I'm doing great because you know I got to talk.
Yeah, you can't. First off, you can't make a living unless you're talking into a mic. You need to chug a mic just to pay the bills, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
So
everybody's chugging something to pay the bills. I happen to be chugging a mic.
Yeah. Look, that's kind of the thing. This morning, Serena said to me, she was watching the Olympic dressage. It's on this morning.
Yes,
and she was,
it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, and look, you have a daughter who rides horses, who she does hunt seat, same as Tallulah,
Yeah.
and the whole thing. And you know the cost of just kind of being in that sport.
I can't even imagine when it's on Olympic level what it's like.
Oh, it's beyond. You have to be beyond wealthy.
Just imagine getting your horse to Rio to compete.
And get to
Wrap
all the
your
events.
brain around that.
Well, let me give you. When you're competing year round, these people, they have to move to climates where they can keep competing. There are horses that go live in Florida for the winter, and they go to South America. They go to different continents and the whole thing. You can't even imagine. These horses log more miles, some of them, than, Look, I've traveled around the world. You've traveled around the world. These horses log more miles in their short lives than we do, and we're world travelers. By and large, I mean, wouldn't you agree with that?
And from what I hear, they don't just bring one horse; they have a few.
Oh, in a lot of cases,
just in case the one gets lame or something.
Right, and during the bad.
And these aren't like ghetto horses; these are like
right,
$500,000 to $1 million horses, right?
Easily. And by the way, every now and then you'll hear about the horse that originally sold at like a thoroughbred auction for 1.2 million as a colt, and then the horse showed up lame, so they were it's like, well, the meat factory came to buy it, but someone gave someone $2,500 for the horse.
Oh my God.
Just because it can't run on the track doesn't mean it can't be great at jumping or dressage or something else.
Right.
Usually those kind of thoroughbreds don't end up in dressage, but they do end up in jumping. They end up in hunt seat, hunter jumper, that kind of thing. Not always Grand Prix jumping, but just because they can't do one sport, they could do another. And Serena's watching it this morning, and I'll tell you this, Anna. During the bad economy, back in the great one, back in 2008,
right.
One of the things Serena had to give up was her beloved dressage horse.
Yeah.
Pilot. And Tallulah kept riding, and, Tallulah's dad was more, I guess you could say, immune to,
the downtick.
Yeah, well, attorneys make money on the way up and on the way down.
Yeah, totally.
And, so Tallulah kept riding, and she got, she did really well in the whole thing. And Serena got to live vicariously through that and, continued to ride, other people's horses and the whole thing, but had to give up her own horse. But watching that event this morning, she came in the bathroom while I was brushing my teeth, and she goes, honey? I was like, yeah. She goes, I need a dressage horse.
Uh-oh.
And all I could hear is ding, 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 ding. Just the
ding,
money.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, because we don't have a trailer anymore. Back then we had 2 trucks capable of pulling trailers, diesels and,
Sure.
dualies and all that kind of. And you start thinking, trucks, trailers, monthly, just keeping a horse built and the whole thing. I said, honey, why don't you keep running? That running thing seems to be your thing.
Yeah, that running thing now it looks like a super cheap habit.
Yeah. But yeah, look, I could, at some point I want to get a horse again and all that. But, I was into quarter horses back in the day, but man, horses are just expensive. And when you live in a city like LA, it is just god awful expensive.
It's crazy expensive.
And Louise,
and I know Serena, she's not going to go with any old ghetto barn. I've been saying ghetto a lot this show.
Yeah, you have.
I'm just saying she's going to have a nice barn.
Well, Serena is not that kind of person. She doesn't have to be in an uppity barn. And
I didn't say uppity. I just said a nice barn.
Right, and we have friends that have barns that where we can.
Oh, that's good. They probably give you a good deal, but it's just expensive. You got to feed this animal. I mean, you don't have to feed it as much as Michael Arnstein eats, but you have to feed it a lot.
Oh God, no horse has ever eaten as much as 140-pound Michael Arnstein. But horses are upkeep, and you got to have the time to do it. And who has the time anymore? But that's my dream one day. And by the way. If we keep them a little more out of town, if you go out to Moore Park and that kind of thing.
That's true. Fillmore and places like that, it's a lot easier.
I was getting ready to say, in Louisiana, you could keep a horse for cheaper than you could keep a dog.
Probably.
Oh, I'm not kidding, because it rains so much. There's always grass growing. You just put them out to pasture, and they're just constantly eating.
I could sell my house in North Hollywood and buy a horse farm in Virginia.
Isn't that the craziest thing?
It's insane.
Because ever since Tallulah's gone to college, Serena, who loves real estate, she's always looking at properties in Virginia.
She needs to look at Albemarle County.
Oh, Anna, she looks around, she goes, do you understand that a horse property that would cost $3.5 million here, we could get for $1.75 in Virginia? Yeah.
I tell her to look actually in Madison County, and also look in around Culpeper, because it's a county over from Charlottesville, and it's a little bit less expensive, and it's just as gorgeous. That's where my aunt and uncle have a house at Mountain Run Lake. Yeah, they have a giant property there for I don't know how much they pay for, $4,000.
Please, I don't want her looking in any direction to buy anything right now.
Hey, when's that ring coming?
Oh, Anna, the ring. And everything is money. And folks, if you want to help out around here, if you want to help me buy rings and horses and everything else, go to VinnieTortories.com and click through some banner, please. Just any banner. I don't care. Just click through.
Click through all the banners.
Just start clicking, stuff. Please. Oh, my God. We will get to fitness in this podcast. We're not just going to talk about...
This is Vinnie's ring money we're talking about, people.
Yeah, Vinnie needs to buy a ring. Oh, Anna... You just depressed the crap out of me. Okay. I mentioned the other day, speaking of click-throughs, I mentioned this on a podcast with Andy, and I see it sitting on top of my notes again. A guy named Scott Jeffries, who's been a fan of the show for a long time. And did I ever send you any of his Savage phone cases that he puts together?
Oh, yeah. No, you didn't send me any, but I know what you're talking about.
He also sent me, you have the iPhone 6, right? Or do you use something else?
6S,
okay,
baby.
I have a case for you here. He sent me a bunch of them. Tallulah took a few of them back to school because she loved them. Another thing he makes is, the little glass protector you put on top of your glass?
I insist on having that on everyone's phone in our household, because if you drop that on a rock, that thing shatters, but your glass screen is okay.
Right. Do you know, all right, those things, every time I've bought a new glass screen cover, it's been like $25, $30, right?
Oh, at least.
He sells them on the site for I don't know, 12 or 13 bucks, and he sent me a few of those. Oh my
God, are you serious?
Yeah, I got
a
few.
Some? Can you send them to me?
Again, Tallulah took a few of them. I have one sitting on my desk. I will send you one whenever I send you mail out this month.
Thank you. We need one, because Lauren and Lucy both just got the iPhone SE. Oh, wait, no, it won't fit what you have.
I think it's only iPhone 6.
What's his website?
Go to VinnieTortories.com. Let me see here. Maybe I can pull it up. I put a link. And by the way, Anna, I have no connection to this guy. I don't make any money on this guy.
Well, he's not helping you with the ring fund.
No, he was just a cool guy, and I liked his product. And I told him, I said, if you ever get it going, I'll put a link up.
I see. Fitness Confidential phone covers.
Yeah, but you could get all kinds of phone covers now if you go there.
It was the 80s. That was really cool back then.
Oh, geez, Anna.
Look how cute you are in your picture.
Yeah, you see the picture of me there?
Did he fix your name? Yes, he fixed your name.
Yeah. So you guys can go do that. Anna, I've been watching the Olympics. Of course, I watched last night. By the time this comes out, it'll be 2 weeks from now. But last night...
no one will care.
Yeah, I was watching Usain Bolt make history, but we were watching all the events leading up to that. The guy in the 400 broke records. He made it look like child's play. Fun to watch records topple in the Olympics. I was enjoying that whole thing. Enjoying the women triple jump during that same thing. Did you watch the whole thing?
I didn't watch the whole thing, but I saw some of it.
Yeah, the women's triple jump, which is that, Serena was asking me, she's like, why do they do the triple stride? I said, you know what? It's like it had to start in Ireland. Someone had a drunken idea in a bar one night and said, okay, mate, let's just make these people do this. And 3 jumps and the whole thing. Because it looks like they're going to rip a hamstring, or at least at the very least a groin muscle, every time they start doing that. I used to wonder about it in high school. It's like, who wants to do that? It's like the craziest thing ever.
Did you see Michelle Carter?
Which one is she?
She's the one who's the first woman ever to win gold in the U.S. for the shot put.
Really? You were telling me about that before the show started.
She's tough, man.
Yeah, I don't know anything about her. But
it was just cool to watch.
How are we doing as Americans in the Olympics?
You know what? Let me see. I'm going to Google it.
Yeah.
Michael Phelps is obviously doing well.
Yeah, Michael Phelps has now won more medals than some countries.
The USA is number 1 with 26 gold medals so far, and Britain and China are behind us with 15 each. Suckers.
And what about overall medals? Who's winning?
That's overall.
Oh, I thought you said gold medals.
We're still we're number 1 with 70 overall, and Great Britain is behind us with 39.
And most of those are being won by Michael Phelps, pretty much, right?
Probably. He's probably won 68 of the 70 medals.
Our dope-smoking, DUI-grabbing athlete.
He's after it.
Yeah, he's just going for it. And, I took some flack about going, oh, Michael Phelps, but you know what? As you know, Anna, I call a spade a spade. Am I taking away from his athletic prowess? No, he's one of the greatest athletes on the planet, if not the greatest athlete. He's certainly the most famous and greatest swimmer to ever jump into a pool. But the bottom line is, when you got somebody representing your country, do you go for the guy? It's that thing we always do in America. We just take this thing of, well, let's put everything else aside. The guy's a winner. He's winning medals. You know what I mean?
Right.
And let's forget that. And somebody wrote to me, and I don't know if this is true. Maybe you can look it up. Somebody wrote to me and said he was caught with a transvestite hooker or was dating a trans. Can you look that up and tell me if that's real or if that's just some tweet that someone sent me?
Well, I just looked up Michael Phelps trans and nothing came up. So let me look up Michael Phelps hooker.
So, I don't know.
Nothing came up there either.
Okay, so that was just
dominatrix. That's a different.
Yeah, that's. I could see him with a dominatrix.
Yeah,
because in that case, he's a guy who's always on top. Sometimes they like to be beaten down a bit.
Here's an article. Michael Phelps paid prostitute to pee on him. Well, that's important news.
Well, if you want to get the chlorine smell off.
I thought pee was not neutral. What's the word?
It's sterile. Pee is sterile. Yeah.
But how could it be sterile when it's coming through a bacteria hole?
Anna, look, I don't make this stuff up. Pee is sterile. Can you look up that? I know that pee is sterile. I remember hearing that somewhere.
Is pee sterile?
I'm pretty sure it's sterile. I remember learning that somewhere along the way at Tulane.
I guess that's been debunked by Science Alert, by the Smithsonian Magazine, by Science News, by The Guardian. urine is not sterile even before it comes out of you and gets contaminated by your skin. Oh, even before it comes out of you and gets contaminated, bacteria are present at low levels in the urine of healthy people not suffering from a urinary tract infection.
All right, so what are we saying here? It's not good to get peed on? What are we talking about now?
Just don't pee in any open wounds. I don't know.
Okay, so Usain Bolt, greatest runner ever in the history of running. He won another gold medal. Yeah. I think he's going to retire now. And I love that guy because he's a showman, but he's a man of the people, and people love him. And he seems to be very gracious in his style. Wouldn't you say? Yes. Yeah. Just an all-around good guy, and pretty much an unblemished career.
It's nice to see athletes that are all around good guys.
Yeah, look, this guy started off with nothing in Jamaica, and next thing you know, he's just what a guy.
Was his name really Bolt, or did he change it?
I have no idea.
Because that's amazing if his name is Bolt.
I think it was. That's the crazy part.
That's cool.
I could be way off. I know people are screaming right now going, "You're backwards. You don't know what you're talking about. You're wrong."
Well, then they can start their podcast, the Refute Vinnie and Anna podcast.
Now, Anna, you may remember when we started this show 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Everybody in triathlon was wearing compression socks around their
legs. Compression socks and those brightly colored strips that look like ace bandages, but just or for like a length of ace bandage, though.
Well, those things are kind of still around. I'll explain both of those since you brought up the Band-Aids. I call them the Band-Aids because I want to get into something else I've seen in the Olympics. But when those people were wearing compression socks 4 or 5 years ago, you may remember people that go back and listen to the old podcast. You can go back and buy them. It's like, what, $2 or $3 a month. You could buy 600 some odd episodes.
Right.
I used to say these things don't do what, everyone's like, oh, you don't understand. It's a life changer. Oh, my God. It's like cheating and the whole thing. And I've always said if something will give you an unfair advantage, the OCI, the ICL, I'm sorry, the International IOC, International Olympic Committee, will say no, or WADA, the World Anti-Doping Association, will say something and make it all illegal. But when these companies, when they're not saying anything, you got to know that whatever you think you're doing, you're not. Does that make sense? Yeah. So if you were wearing compression socks thinking that it was some kind of life-changing thing, and obviously, I was yelling, we will be laughing about this in a couple of years, right? Right. You remember that whole thing? I was like, it doesn't work. Stop emailing me about it. This is bullshit. Right. And sure enough, when you look at it now, whenever you see someone with compression socks, you're like, oh, my God, you're so yesterday. So what is it that they thought was happening? Well, look, compression socks were for people who are in hospital, who are in bed, who can't get out of bed. And what it does is that, whenever you compress your legs will start collecting fluid. So whenever you start compressing your legs, you can keep the blood flowing back to your heart to get the fluid out. So you don't get pooling, if you will. Because when you're laying in a hospital bed, you can't move around and have things flow and drain. Yeah. So compression socks. When my mom was in the hospital, they had these compression socks, and then they automatically squeeze, like they were motorized. Like they squeeze. Yeah. They have those where they squeeze and they stop the whole thing, and those things really help. Yeah. So then athletes, if I'm taking how it happened to any level, I think everything starts off in triathlon. There's a magazine called Triathlete or Triathlon Magazine, and there's a section called Faster Rabbit where they have all this kind of stuff in there. Mm-hmm. And, it's like, try this and do that and take that. That's why I get all those weird tweets of, should I be taking, MCT oil up my ass? And, I can almost go, oh, someone must have wrote about it. I've been meaning to ask you, should I douche with MCT oil? Oh, absolutely. Okay. It'll help my microflora in my vagina. Oh, that and the Paltrow steaming and the whole thing? You do that, everything. Anna? Yeah. By the way, all of it. When we did Paltrow's vagina, we had lead-in music, right?
I don't remember.
Oh, God.
know
Well,
we don't
call me and let
remember
me know if
anything
we
about
have
this show.
Paltrow Vagina music. I can't remember.
It's amazing that we remember anything.
No, I do this show and then I move on and then I go, what? We said what? Anyway, compression socks started in triathlon, and then you saw cyclists and runners and everybody. What they were doing was after they do their long events or after they do a long running day or a long cycling day, you would see some pooling in your calves. You would see a little elephantitis, some swelling in your calves.
Edema?
Edema, if you will.
Is that technically edema?
I guess you could call it edema. Let's just call it edema.
Is it fluid or what is it?
It's fluid. It's a collection of fluid in your lower extremities. And most people started wearing the compression socks to sleep at night right after a long day on the bike or a long run or whatever, and triathletes. And they would wake up and the fluid would be gone and it would be greatly, depleted. And so then people started saying, hey, what if we wear them during the event? And then all of this faux science, this bro science, as I call it, started coming out about how, your blood gets back to your heart quicker and your body can reproduce and more red blood cells and yada, yada, yada. All of this fake science started coming out around these compression socks, right? And you couldn't go to an event without people going, try our compression socks are better than theirs because ours are graduated. They're tighter at the bottom and looser at the top. But all of this bro science and faux science coming out. And I'm sitting there and Serena's like, well, should I get a pair? And I'm like, no, it's all bullshit. Just trust me on this. It's all crap. It's all bullshit. Don't believe it. Don't buy into the minutia. Just don't do it. Please don't do it. And now, how many athletes do you see with that? Oh, that's right. None. Because I was right again about that.
Can you imagine the amount of money we could save as a society if we didn't buy bullshit?
Anna,
because I think about with me, it's been with like skin creams and things like that they're allowed to basically say fucking anything when really you could just rub coconut oil on your skin or olive oil. And frankly, it would probably be better for your skin and it's way cheaper.
Oh, Anna, absolutely.
I'm going to challenge every person out there using skin cream to why don't you use up all the skin cream you have before you go buy another one? That's my big thing. So I'm like, I'm bored. It's not working. I want something else. Well, and then I'll go and try some, or my girlfriend will say, oh, I bought this thing and her skin's amazing, so I have to buy that thing. And it's all bullshit. And they do the same thing with the triathlon stuff, with the athletic stuff.
Anna, you couldn't be more correct. You know how many...
Not knowing what the fuck's going on.
Ask me how many different types of products I use.
How many different types of products do you use?
2. Well, we're not going to count toothpaste, right? I mean,
no.
Okay.
Like just personal grooming products?
Right. No, just I use 2 products. I use soap and by the way, Amazon winner. I got to talk about that in a second. I use soap and I use deodorant. And deodorant, it shouldn't even count. I was
going to say those 2 things.
So let's knock it down to 1. Soap, because deodorant is just personal hygienes, and I guess we don't need that. Anyway, Anna, I want to get back to the compression socks and where I'm leading to what I saw in the Olympics. But since we're talking about it, let's do Amazon winner. Before I tell you who won, Anna, why don't you tell people how they can become an Amazon winner?
Oh, man. It's so easy.
You know what, Anna, I don't want you to tell us. I want Paltrow's Vagina to tell us how you become an Amazon winner.
All right. Listen.
I love that voice.
Everybody likes to shop at Amazon, and I'm a vagina, and I'm no different.
Well, what do you buy at Paltrow's Vagina? What do you buy at Amazon?
I buy all sorts of creams and potions and banana-shaped devices that keep me
Why would you buy banana-shaped devices?
What do you think?
Because you want potassium?
Of course. Potassium's very important to have a healthy vagina.
Can I ask you a very specific question, Paltrow's Vagina?
Yes, of course.
There's this whole thing about glass dildos versus, the ones made of plastic or rubber. Is there any truth behind not picking up on bacteria and you can clean them better? What's the whole deal
behind
the glass
dildo? Absolute
I am an absolute petri dish, let's face it, right? So
Okay.
I'm going to tell you what. As long as you shove something in me that's clean, I'm happy.
Well, can't you just steam out a little bacteria anyway, or would that just make the
Well,
bacteria grow?
I would think it would make the bacteria grow. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be honest. Whenever Gwynnie up there is deciding to sit over a little chamber pot of steam, I get a little worried. Yeah, the bacteria can grow. And you know what? Nobody likes a yeasty vagina.
Well,
Nobody.
sometimes, guys like a Whopper with cheese.
No. Gross.
So anyway, Paltrow's Vagina, tell me how you can become an
Okay.
Amazon winner.
When you're shopping at Amazon, you're never going to go straight to Amazon. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to go to VinnieTortorich.com. You're going to click through the Amazon banner. What happens is Vinnie and Anna get a little taste, a little affiliate commission. It doesn't cost you anything extra, but it helps out this show. And if you want to hear more from me, the Gooper's Vag, then you want to help out this show. Do your shopping just like normal. Fast forward. What is it called? I don't know about computers. Forward your email receipt to Vinnie, and you're going to be entered into the hat of potential winners. And
Yeah.
every week we pick a winner.
You know what?
Tell them what they win.
Anna, I can't get past the fact that you use the term gooper and vagina back to back.
Goop Vag.
That just sounds wrong. Okay, here's what happened. Here's what you win. When you go to VinnieTortorich.com and click through the banner, you can bookmark that banner and go to it every time. It puts coal on the fire, gets our train down the track, and you can win a T-shirt. And we are revamping the T-shirts. We're going to do some. I'm talking to Sheila. We got some new stuff coming up.
Nice.
We got some hats coming out. We're talking about other products. You can pretty much pick what you want. If you already have the T-shirts and all that, and you want something else, we will send you vitamins. You can get Pure Vitamin Club vitamins or Pure Vitamin Club Broad Spectrum Magnesium or whatever you want. You will get something by mailing us your
I'm going to
receipt.
say this. Every time I don't take my magnesium, I regret it the next morning.
I'm telling you, we
I
get
love the
more,
stuff.
Anna. We get more compliments on the
Because
magnesium.
that's what I need help with. I mean, even when I do take the magnesium, I still often pop awake at 4 a.m., but it helps me get back to sleep faster.
It is just, you want to talk about a nice night of sleep. A lot of people we noticed that a trend, people would order, with the program, they would order the, pure magnesium along with their
Right.
broad spectrum, along with their vitamins.
Right.
And then they would do a side order of just a 90-day supply to go because they started taking it twice a day. Even though we recommend once a day, they're taking it in the morning. By the way, that's what I do. I take it twice a day.
Oh, you do?
I take the magnesium in the morning because I'm sweating so much during the day. And then I take another
that's
one
good
at
for
night.
this weather.
And it just relaxes my muscles. It relaxes everything. It just, you have a great night's sleep. I'm not telling folks that they have to take it twice a day. I'm just telling you that we see that trend over at purevitaminclub.com. Speaking of
Wait, say the Amazon winner, then let's move
Yeah.
on.
Miguel Perez. Miguel.
What did Miguel buy?
Miguel bought some pine tar soap, which is the official soap of this podcast. Anna, you know that, people have been asking me for years about, the name of that soap that I buy. It's called
Right.
Grandpa's Pine Tar Soap. Miguel
Right.
bought some of that. He bought 15 bars of pine tar. I'm looking at it directly, right? Yeah, he bought a lot of pine tar soap.
I guess he's giving some away to friends.
Oh, and he also bought.
Or can you buy it like a 15-pack, like how you can buy a 15-pack of soap from Costco?
There must have been a deal or something, but there's 15 bars. But I buy mine 15, 20 bars at a time, too, because then you don't have to worry about it for like a year,
Right.
or more, because it takes me a long time to go through a bar of soap. He also bought both.
There's no one goes through 15 bars of soap in a year.
I don't know how, I'm saying a year, but it takes me forever to go through. When I buy pine tar soap, Grandpa's Pine Tar Soap, I buy 15, 20 bars, and I'm saying a year. It could be a year and a half. I don't know how long it takes
Yeah.
because I don't soap the crap out of my body.
No.
I
I don't think you should.
No, I use it.
Frankly, you should soap your pits.
As Serena calls it, the giblets and the pits and giblets. And
I don't think you should put soap in your vagina, Vinny. Don't put soap in your vagina, Vin.
I hit my taint with it. I'll do a taint lap.
I think it's different for guys. I think guys should probably soap their nuts.
Yeah. So
women, I don't think you're supposed to do that.
Yeah, I don't want stuff growing down there. So
and women, we do want stuff growing down there, but we want it to be nice.
Yeah, you don't want paltroy. I wonder what her vagina smells like.
God, I don't know.
I wonder if she'd let me smell it. I said, "Come on, Gwen, just give me a sniff."
I'm sure she
was
would.
doing down there.
See what's doing down there.
All right. So he bought pine tar. So Anna, he also bought. I don't know if this guy is just being diplomatic or if he's trying to figure out what he wants. He bought both Piper Wee and Schmidt's.
Oh, Piper Wee? Yeah, the both deodorants?
Yeah, he bought one. Maybe he bought one for his wife and one for him, but maybe he's doing a back and forth.
Oh, doing the test.
Yeah, but he bought the deodorant that you use, the natural deodorant that you use, and the natural deodorant that I use. Of course, you used the Piper. Is it Wee or Y?
Piper Y.
You used the Piper Y. I used the Schmidt's.
You know what? I have gotten more tweets about Schmidt's and Piper Y. Those people need to be sponsors.
Well, we have a fan. I don't know if he's a super fan, but he's a fan on Twitter. A guy named Aaron. I like talking to Aaron. Aaron had to have his intestines removed. So he's one of these guys.
What?
Yeah, he had like cancer or something. And his diet is very specific and the whole thing. And he tried the Schmidt's and he loved it. The problem he didn't like was getting his hands all mucked up with the deodorant. And he went, he tweeted this to me just the other day. He got the Schmidt's like roll on or maybe the kind of push up one.
Oh, do they make a roll on?
Yeah, I didn't even know because I just buy the little tub of it, the little jar. But also, as you know, lately I've been using the one that those fans gave us at the last meetup.
Axiom Organics.
Axiom, yeah. Do they have a website or whatever?
Yeah.
Give their name out, even though we don't make a dime on this. I like those people. They gave us free deodorant. Their stuff works well, too. Are you still enjoying it?
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, Serena's using theirs almost exclusively lately. So that's another good. Yeah, folks, there are great deodorants out there that are not chemically based, are full of aluminum or aluminium, as the Brits would say.
Aluminium.
Anyway, getting back to what I saw all the athletes doing last night, a lot of the runners, I saw the triple jumpers doing it. They start slapping their legs before they do their event. Did you see this?
No. Like, are they warming them up from the outside in?
Like they're beating the crap out of themselves. Like you see red marks all over their legs.
Slap? Open-handed slap or punching their legs?
Yeah, no, open-handed slap. They're doing it around the hamstrings, and it looks like around the calves. And you'll see them, they'll pop, 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 and then pop, pop, pop on the calves. And I'm sure, somebody came along and said, hey, if you just do this, there's a stimulus from your brain. We'll send a message to your muscles, and yada, 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 and blah, 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 and you will be that much better. And I saw a lot of people slapping their legs.
That doesn't make any. I mean, I've done that like when I'm like if you have like a lactic acid buildup because you've just finished it and it's burning. Right. You know how you slap it, you're like ah.
Yeah. No,
I don't think it does anything.
Before.
You're just hitting it because it hurts.
This is like a wake up love tap, that they're doing. And I'm looking at that going, well, this will be old news by the next Olympics. Someone's going to figure out, no, slapping actually, and I'm sure it's something to do with getting more blood. If you get the blood in your skin to go to that area, yada, 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 you'll have that much more blood. It could give you the edge. And, all of this stuff that athletes believe, and again, most of that stuff, folks, comes right out of bro science, and then we make it a real thing. Mm-hmm. And I know people are going to tweet me and go, you're wrong. It's been shown and blah, blah. Show me the studies. Show me the fucking studies.
Right.
You won't find an actual study that's not some bro science piece of crap.
Right.
And the other thing that Serena noticed that all the women are doing, they're blowing kisses before their events. And
To whom? To people in the audience?
Well, you see, now with all the cameras and all the GoPro-y type stuff, right before the race, it used to be, if you saw athletes lining up, they had the eye of the tiger.
Right.
They were shaking their legs out. They were zoned, man. They were zoned in. They were looking down the track. I mean, the 1,000-yard stare. They were doing their thing. Athletes always have like a routine. Usain Bolt's thing is?
Yeah. What does he do?
Usain Bolt is when he goes down, when he gets to the blocks, feet are in the blocks, knees are on the ground. Before he puts his hands on the ground, he makes the sign of the cross. Mm-hmm. Then he kisses his hand that he made the sign of the cross with. And then he puts his index finger over his nose and he looks up to the sky.
Okay.
So it's a whole, he does a whole Jesus montage.
Right.
Right? Every race, same thing. Sign of the cross, kisses the finger he made the sign with, same hand, finger pointing up right on his nose as his eyes gaze upwards to thank the Lord before he runs. That routine will never change. You can walk into a college locker room before every practice. You will watch routines of all kinds of athletes. Athletes have the most incredible routines they do before their events, and these routines carry on to the track or whatever they're doing. And you used to see this played out more and more and more. Now, Usain Bolt does not play to the camera. His play to the camera is to do the sign of the cross and to do the pointing and the looking up and all that, right?
Right.
But mostly these girls, as they're announcing their names and the camera is on the track and they're panning across, these girls are waving. They do like the two-hand wave, and then they put the hands to the mouth and do the kiss with the little kind of jazzy hands in front of them with the big smile. And they have makeup on. These girls now have makeup on. It's all about, they all have managers now saying, weird. You got to have the camera fall in love with you so we could get you some sponsorship after this event, win, lose, or draw.
Oh, my God.
That's got to be it. Serena goes, look, they're all doing like the two hands. They look like Liza Minnelli at the end of like a Broadway show. You know what I'm talking about? The two hands to the lip with a mwah.
Of course. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm so glad I could perform for you, my audience.
They're all doing it. Every one of them, it's the two hands to the lip. They go, mwah, and then the hands are in the camera, close to the face, kind of doing, the jazz hands. The fingers are doing the wiggly, squiggly. Yeah. And they're all doing and then after they jump, you'll see the triple jump. They'll go through the pit. They'll hit, 15 meters and this and that and the whole thing. They come out of the pit. They don't dust the sand off. They're doing the kiss to the camera, the jazz hands, the whole thing. I'm looking at it going, is it me? Is it this generation? What are they doing? What are they doing?
It's the generation.
It's got to be, right?
Be. Yeah.
I mean, it's like they're performing. Their whole life is in a camera, right? Everything is a selfie and an ussy and a. Where was I
is
yesterday?
Is it ussy a thing?
I'm making it a thing. Where was I yesterday? And someone said to me something about a selfie, and I said, you know what? I've never taken a selfie. And the person said to me, you're kidding, right? I went, no, I'm thinking about that right now. I've never taken a selfie. Have you ever taken a selfie, Anna?
Very rarely. Like, honestly, very rarely, because I don't like looking at myself in the camera.
I've never taken, and by the way, have I ever been part?
It's not something that's fun for me. I go, wow, this is fun to look at myself.
Right.
Who wants to do that?
I've been part of pictures where someone says, hey, get in here with me, and they're holding the camera up and they're doing, especially like at the events and the fans, and like when I go off and do speeches and the whole thing, I do 100 of those.
Right.
Hey, get in here, because that's the way pictures are taken now. People don't even hand it.
But you're not voluntarily going, I'm going to take a selfie.
Right. You'll never see me in the bathroom with my shirt off, holding the camera up, doing that move, with the shower curtain in the background. Or you'll never see me at the gym after a set doing that move with the shirt kind of halfway up, showing my ass. And you'll never see me holding it up where they hold it high. That's the thing, by the way, I'm told. Hold it high because you don't see the double chins. Did you know that move, Anna?
Wait, hold your shirt up high?
No. People who take the selfies where they're not using the mirror, where they just turn the camera onto themselves and hold their hand out,
right,
like Rich Roll style. Apparently, they hold the camera high, like above their head, and they look up.
Right.
Because that gets rid of double chin and makes you look thinner. Did you know that move?
Oh, no. Maybe that would make me feel better about looking in the camera.
Someone told me that move. I said, why when people take selfies, they hold the camera above their head and look up? Is it because they're trying to get the sunlight in the right thing? It's like, no. It makes you look thinner.
It's an angle thing.
It's an angle.
All right.
Who knew? Who knew? Okay, so athletes are...
I have to hold on. I have to give you a follow-up to... Do you remember last week that company that told me to eat negative 85 grams of carbs?
Yes. And I know you wrote me after that saying you found another one even worse.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God.
No, it was... They sent me... Because I had to get that... I had to enter my email address to get the... Hold on, let me find it here. I had to enter my email address to get my macro ratio that they assigned me based on the information that I put in.
Yeah.
Hold on. And then they sent me a free gift, which, I like websites that give you a free gift, a PDF or something. I give one.
Absolutely.
I give a PDF of free recipes. I like it. So they gave me a free gift that says access your free IIF. What does it stand for? I remember I said it stands for I intend to fuck your mouth, but it's something like if you follow your macros, something like that is what it stands for. But not only did they send me the starter guide PDF, which makes no sense. I'm going to go over that in a second. But he says, I also own a company called myoatmeal.com where you can get delicious oatmeal customized to your taste buds.
Oh, so that's why they were pushing, that's why they were pushing the carb thing, because they're selling oatmeal.
But for me, they told me to eat negative 85 grams of carbs a day. So go ahead and, I don't know, what am I supposed to do? Drink 3 glasses of Metamucil at every meal?
According to these people, probably, if you want to get it up to where they want you to get it up to.
And also they consider alcohol to be one of the macronutrients. They say there are 4 macronutrients.
So alcohol is a macronutrient?
According to them.
Wow. So that means alcoholics are more healthy than you and me?
Carbs and protein each provide 4 calories per gram. Fat contains 9 calories per gram, and alcohol provides 7 calories per gram. So they're doing it based on, that's why they've determined that alcohol is a macro instead of just calling it a carb.
Anna, have you ever seen the movie Idiocracy?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I caught you in mid-gulp. Yeah. Let me ask the question again. Anna, have you ever seen the movie Idiocracy?
Oh, yes, I have. It's been many years, but boy, oh boy, are we living in one? What's happening?
All right, so I just watched it last night, and I watched it on the suggestion of, do you know who the lackeys are? If I said lackey, do you know what I'm talking about? That's what Adam Carolla calls all the guys that actually make his show happen.
Right,
so
okay.
All these guys smarter than Adam that knows how to turn on a computer and all that kind of stuff, they're affectionately known as the lackeys. I think one of the lackeys told me, "Oh, dude, you got to watch Idiocracy." And I, over the years, people have tweeted me, "Oh, you got Idiocracy." So finally, last night, I went, "All right." So I watched Idiocracy, and the premise for anyone who's not seen it is basically a half dimwit. Along with Loving You. What's her name? Her mom sang that song, Loving You. Help me out. Who's in Idiocracy?
If you said something about the actress, I would know. But if you say it's her mom, I don't
She's
know.
half black, half white. Her mom was a black, beautiful voice. Minnie something or Edie something.
Oh, are you talking about Maya Rudolph?
Yeah.
Oh, her mom was Minnie. God damn it. And she's a great singer, too. Hold on. Maya Rudolph.
Maya is
mom.
Loving You. I'm pulling it up.
It's Minnie. It's a famous like blues singer called Minnie Riperton. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the song. Let's see.
I didn't know she sang "Loving You."
Oh yeah, once the song is in your head, Anna, there's no getting it out.
No, it's in there now.
Here we go. I'm playing it, Anna. There's no getting this out of your head once it's in. What a voice. So that's Minnie Riperton singing "Loving You," and her daughter is Maya Rudolph, right?
Who's one of my comedy heroes?
And Serena was saying, like in that movie, Serena
Although
was
we're
going.
the same age. She's still my hero.
Serena's saying she does a really good because she does like she plays a whore who had a black pimp, and Serena goes, "Wow, she does a really good black, whore thing, right?" I went, "Well, she's black, right?"
Has Serena ever seen Maya Rudolph in anything?
Well, Serena was in a movie with Maya Rudolph. And I think Maya Rudolph's husband was the guy who did the movie.
I was going to say.
What's her husband's
husband
name?
directed the movie she was in. Paul
Right.
Thomas Anderson.
Yeah, we were hanging out with Paul Thomas Anderson and Maya Rudolph at the event. So, yeah, we know Maya. I don't know. Let me take that back. I don't know Maya Rudolph, and she's not a friend of mine. I've met her in passing.
SNL, she was amazing. Amazing.
Yeah, Maya Rudolph is one of my favorite actresses. And by the way, I find her oddly very sexy. Is it just me? I mean, she's just super sexy, right? I mean, you get that, right?
Oh, absolutely.
And Serena was like, she's black. I said, yeah, half black. Her mom was Minnie Riperton. So last night we're watching Idiocracy and we're singing "Loving You" while we're watching the movie. And
oh, wow.
yeah. So we're watching that. So anyway, the whole movie deals with they get pushed ahead. The movie was done, Anna, in 2005.
Was that long ago?
Right. So the movie is now 11 years old. Right?
And it was the Wilson brothers, right?
Well, no, the dark-haired Wilson guy is the guy that's in the movie. He's the principal along
Yeah, but
with
I
Maya
thought they
Rudolph.
both produced it, but maybe not.
Actually, I thought it was the guy from who did Beavis and Butthead. Is the guy?
Mike Judge. That's
Judge.
right. It was a Mike Judge film. That's right.
Okay. Everything that they said would take 500 years to happen happened within 11 years. We're there already. Literally, they talk about like the reason the world is dying is because Gatorade has now taken over the entire planet. There's one company who owns Starbucks and Gatorade and everything else.
Really?
And they're trying, you have to go back and watch it. They're watering crops with Gatorade. People, like when you go to a water fountain, only Gatorade comes out. And it's 500 years later, and Luke Wilson is saying, well, why don't people drink water? And these people are like, water? You mean the stuff that's in toilets? You want us to drink that stuff? And the world can't figure out how it got so dumb.
Right.
And why we have no crops, and it's because they're trying to water the crops with Gatorade. And Luke Wilson, who's like a dimwit from, our time, is going, wait, there's a lot of salt in Gatorade, and it's killing the crops. So he comes up with this reason as to why Gatorade is not good. Right? You got to watch it because everything.
I haven't seen it in years. I need to watch it again.
Anna, you will watch it and go, oh my God, we're there crazy. Now.
We're there
because people don't talk anymore. They're they think they keep calling him a quote unquote fag because he speaks in proper English, and no one uses complete sentences anymore.
Oh my God!
And everyone is just dumbed down by the internet and everything we've become. And like Dax, what's his name? Dax, whatever.
Dax Shepard.
Oh my God, he's great in this because
he's hilarious. I love that guy.
He's sitting in a chair with a straw in his mouth while he's playing a video game, and the chair is also a toilet. So he doesn't have to leave this area. And the world has gotten that lazy and that dumb and just sugar-laden. Everything they said would take 500 years to happen happened within 11. We're there now. We are there now, Anna.
Yeah. Do you hear that noise?
Yeah, what's that?
Izzy trying to come in. She misses you.
Hi, Iz. We keep talking about doing a podcast where I actually come to your house and do the podcast, right? Oh, Anna got up to go let her dog in.
I'm letting the dog in.
Oh, God. Whenever we let the dog in, it's always my cue to do Villa Cappelli, folks.
Yay,
That's
Villa
right.
Cappelli.
Guess what? I had my eggs just now, and I had
In
them
Villa
with
Cappelli?
Villa Cappelli olive oil.
Nice.
It's the best eggs ever. The only thing that I will use in place of butter or coconut oil for my eggs is Villa Cappelli. Did I say other olive oils? No. Villa Cappelli, because it literally makes the eggs taste that much better, because it's literally the best olive oil on the planet. And folks, I'm not saying that just because they write me a big whopping check every month. I'm saying that because it's the truth. Anna and I were talking about this. I feel compelled to say this, Anna, because we have so many new fans that come on and listen to the show. We were saying this so far back, right, Anna? Before they ever gave us a dime. Before we got 1 penny from these people, we were saying that. Correct?
Absolutely, because it's the best. And you know what? People are asking us online, I can't afford Villa Cappelli. What are some ones that are made stateside that I could afford? And I'm like, I don't know. I honestly don't know. It's hard to guide people on that. I was like, I don't know. Go do the research. Listen, I was at the property, saw them make the oil. The oil tastes delicious. Good olive oil is gonna run you a little bit.
Yeah. And by the way, their olive oil is not out of place with other high-end olive oils that we've had before. Someone came here, a friend of Serena's came and stayed as a guest for a couple of days. She's a British photographer. She's world-renowned. And she was shooting an ad for, I want to say Google. Google hired her to come shoot a whole campaign for them. That's
Right.
how famous she is. I mean, they got a woman from England to come here. So she was here. She brought us a gift of olive oil. It was one of these, and it was a little tiny container, and there was like a sprig of, what do you call that? A sprig of something in it. And
Rosemary?
rosemary, thank you. She forgot to take the price tag off the bottom, right? So she didn't know this. You gave it to us wrapped and the whole thing. And I noticed the price tag on the bottom using it about a week later. And this was probably, I want to say, let's call it 375 milliliters of olive oil. So it wasn't even like, it was a little tiny thing, right?
Right.
$52. And look, it's great olive oil, but when you think about
at least you brought you nice olive oil. I was worried you were going to go the other direction.
No, that's what really good olive oil cost.
Right.
Yeah, so in terms of that, Villa Cappelli, what the glass jar is what, 750 milliliters or 1 liter? What is it in the glass?
The glass is half liter or the 3 liter tin.
Right. So their half liter is how much money?
I don't know, $20. Let me go look.
There's got to be a little more than that.
By the way, go to VinnieTortorich.com, click through the Villa Cappelli banner ad, and you do your shopping. So when you do your shopping, you're going to look under oil.
Yeah.
And then look, extra virgin, $24.99.
Yeah, I mean, that's so much cheaper than this other oil we got. That's not as good, even though it's a top-rate oil. Just amazing products, folks.
There's
Go
all
get
sorts of
Villa
olive
Cappelli.
oils on there. Go get it. Enter the discount code Vinnie, VINNIE, and you're going to get 10% off your order. That's what you're going to get, because that's what Stephen and Paul are doing for you guys.
Yeah, go do that. And
Go do that.
where were we? We were talking about what?
Well, do you want to talk about ultra coaching? Because now we're at an hour, and I don't know if that's the wrong thing. But I want to say this: we have to talk about ultra coaching. We have to talk about back to school meals. We have to talk about Eat Happy. We have to talk about
All right, let's do back to school meals today, and we'll save all, because ultra coaching can last for any time. But kids are going back. We've been getting that tweet a lot, so I think that one
today is Lucy's last first day of school.
So she and my nephew are the same age because he started back
Senior year.
I wonder if if she
I mean, she's going to have other first days of school, but it's not in my household. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well,
it's a bittersweet, exciting time here in the household.
And I wonder if your daughter would date my nephew if they were in the same area.
I don't know.
Because I would say no, because your daughter is somewhat of a hipster, right? I mean, she's cool. Right?
I wouldn't call her a hipster, but she's definitely got her own thing going on.
But she's cool. Like, she's into the arts and the whole thing. And,
yeah. Oh, yeah. She's an artist.
And my nephew is like big-time athlete, goes to bed early, wakes up before school, does all of his, practicing in the morning from, while it's still dark. He's that kid.
That's great.
So Lucy would never be into him, right? And he would
Probably
never be
not.
into her.
Probably not.
Yeah.
But that's what would make a great story, wouldn't it?
Yeah, like the hipster and the square got together.
I don't think he's a square. He's an athlete.
He is.
He's
kind of like I was. I was very square in that way, where I was very regimented, and he somehow became that same guy. It's funny how that runs in families, I guess.
Totally.
Back to school.
Anyway, back
Anna.
to school meals, because we're getting close to time. So let's get into it.
A lot of parents are tweeting me. My kid started NSNG over the summer. My kid is way into NSNG, but now my kid has to go back to school.
Yeah.
And some of the
and
parents.
all of a sudden, like I don't know. It's interesting that they don't know what to do. Like, they can't continue NSNG. I think that's good if kids are into NSNG already. It's going to be a lot easier to transition into it.
Well, here's the thing. If, like some kids go to private schools, some go to public, some go to charter schools and this and that. We don't know what the schools are feeding these kids. I mean, Tallulah went to one of those high pollutant schools and they were still able to eat pizza every day if they wanted to.
Right.
If
you're at public school and it's up to the lunch menu, you're
not good, right?
It's not good.
Right. So you in that case, you got to probably send your kid to school with food. Don't buy into the school program food thing. You got to send your kid with a packed lunch. And then people go, well, I can't put a sandwich in there. Look, here's what I always tell parents. When you make a sandwich, what do you put between the bread? And they'll say, well, I'll put, cold cuts and I put this. I say, okay, send them to school with that. Just leave the bread out. If a sandwich will stay good with the bread, it will stay good without the bread.
Right.
Here's another thing that people don't realize. They make so many products now. They're like little soft pack coolers where, there's like a cooling element. You put it in the freezer every night. You put like this little plastic block in the freezer, and then you just drop it into the little soft cooler every day, and that thing will stay cool for most of the day. Let me tell you types of things you can put now that you have something that won't get hot. Cold cuts will stay cold. Cheese will stay refrigerated. Olives will not go bad. Avocados will stay good. You want to add any to this list? Veggies will stay crunchy and great.
Any kind of raw veggies that you can put in there.
Right.
To dip in you can make a little guacamole out of your avocado.
You can make a homemade hummus that you can find at annavicino.com.
Yep.
That's actually good
roasted
for
red pepper hummus. You can make, what's it called? Any sort of dip that you like to make that can go with the vegetables. But I would say make it. The turkey Reuben roll-ups with the homemade Thousand Island dressing, that's on the website as well. You can make all kinds of things and do the wrap-ups and then wrap them individually either in plastic wrap or in foil.
Yeah, and look,
and
folks,
they'll stay together. And sink vegetables in the middle of those, like chop up red peppers and wrap them in lettuce and chock them full of vegetables and meats and cheeses.
Leftover chicken,
nuts,
cold,
you can put
tastes good.
A sack of, raw almonds or raw nuts.
Absolutely.
Because they want to have some crunch. Because the kids, they want Fritos,
Right. So give them crunch. Give them some, send them to school with some raw nuts. And
you got to give your kids some credit, too. Like, sometimes kids are going to want to eat junk food, but you got to give them credit because if they're eating NSNG, I guarantee you that junk food's not going to taste as good to them.
And eventually, look, if they're eating the NSNG and the junk food, at least they're getting some good quality nutrition in.
Exactly.
They're getting the vegetables. And, I mentioned, we were talking about the nuts at the time. if you had chicken the night before, throw a drumstick or two in there. It tastes good cold, especially,
I love cold chicken.
Yeah, it's nothing travels better than that. And it's not going to be ice cold because these things kind of just stay refrigerated. And on the next show, remind me, we should come up with a few of the name brands that people could go shopping for to get this kind of stuff. Because
just go to Target or Walmart and you can get the lunch bags with the ice pack, or you can just get the ice pack and pop it into any cooler lunch bag.
Absolutely.
It's not hard to do.
We have 4 or 5
It doesn't
different
have to be
versions
Coleman or Thermos or whatever, but you can get those.
And look, if you want to do it backpack style, you can. We use. Well, Tallulah went to a concert while she was here a couple of weeks ago, and she just took one of our hydration packs. Hydration packs work well. Sometimes we will freeze the bladder with water in it. And we stick, when people go, how do you keep your olives and your cheese cool when you're out there running for 8 or 10 hours? We actually freeze the hydration pack, and then we put stuff around it. As it thaws out, the food thaws out, the water thaws. And as we're running, we have, fresh food all the time. It's really that simple.
Yeah.
If you can keep things cool, you can keep, your life changes. It's a whole dynamic shift when as soon as you can keep anything cool. Right?
Absolutely.
Did we leave anything out that people should?
I don't know.
I mentioned the olives.
Also for desserts and stuff, obviously berries and apple. Fruit is always a good dessert.
Yeah. Peaches are still good right now.
Yeah,
apples,
a lot of peaches
pears,
are amazing right
now. Berries will stay cool in there.
And if you want to do a tiny square of the dark chocolate. Some kids that's not too bitter for some kids. Some kids like that.
And that'll keep them nice and alert for the afternoon classes versus their friends who ate carbohydrates who are falling asleep and become idiots like Idiocracy. Your kid will be alert and awake. And I'll tell you something else that goes good in those packs, Anna. The hard-boiled eggs.
Oh, hard-boiled eggs. That's perfect.
I can't believe we left that out. If your kid, I hear a lot of time, my kid doesn't want to eat breakfast. But then the kid might be hungry at 10 in the morning. If there's a hard-boiled egg in there and the kid goes after that.
Snack.
Again, this is all brain food, folks. Brain food.
You could do the celery with cream cheese or the celery with almond butter.
Yeah.
So that's really good.
And let me tell you one more, and I'm not kidding about this. If there's a little thing that you could put in there that keeps it cool, iced coffee for your kid. And I know people are going, really? Coffee for the kids? Nothing wrong with coffee, folks. It's an ergogenic, number one. It will, what am I trying to say? It's good as an antioxidant. It's brain food. It will keep your kid alert. A little
remember we
coffee
talked
during the
about
day.
on the podcast how kids used to drink coffee, but then was it the Post Company?
Yeah, CW Post
or was
decided,
it General Mills?
No,
CW
Post. When he came out with Postum back in the early 1900s, right after the turn of the last century, he, the way these industrialists would get things out there was they would get their newspaper friends to run articles saying that literally the articles would read something like coffee will make you dumb and coffee will stunt your growth. Caffeine is bad for you. There's never been coffee is the number one drink around the world.
The biggest, most widely pervasive wives' tale that there is, because that was like ingrained in my head as a kid. Coffee will stunt your growth.
It will stunt your growth. It will make you dumb. And nothing. I mean, it's the exact opposite. And the only reason that came out was because CW Post wanted people to drink Postum, which is basically a non-caffeinated drink made from grains. And Postum went away for a while, but I think it's back now. So,
Gross.
Folks, stay away from Postum, please. But yeah, coffee. If your kid had a little coffee, you want to talk about brain food, have at it. My buddy, Dr. Drew, always talks about that. My buddy and your buddy.
Our buddy.
Anna, by the way, speaking of Dr. Drew, you're going to have to go on that show very soon because
I'm waiting until this hard copy thing gets sorted, and then I'm going to be bugging you about getting me on those shows.
Yeah, you need to go on Dr. Drew because people love Dr. Drew, and your book Eat
I love
Happy
Dr. Drew.
is now out there. By the time this podcast comes out, you will be able to
Eat
get.
Happy's out, and I need you guys to go get the book. You work with the recipes, and go write me a 5-star review.
Yep,
I'm
easy.
just gonna say it. I know you're supposed to say write me a review, but I just said write me a 5-star review. That's what I said.
Go out, give Anna a really nice 5-star review. I know I will because I've already read the book.
I know a lot of you guys have already been working with the recipes on my website. By the way, people have been asking, well, aren't the recipes on your website what's going to be in the book? Some, but most are new recipes in the book. But then also there are recipes on my website that are not in the book.
Folks,
see how
anyone who
fresh?
asks that should be ashamed of themselves.
Oh, people are weird.
Anna has been giving you free information for how long? 4 years.
4 years.
4 years. Go buy her fucking book right now. Go buy motherfucking Eat Happy right now. I was going to say Eat to Win. Go buy Eat Happy right now. Don't wait. Right now, while you're listening to this, go to VinnieTorres.com, click through, and buy Eat Happy. Damn it, now.
I'm closing in on a printer, you guys. That the trigger should be pulled this week, and which means it should be up. A hard copy version should be up. I don't know. I don't even want to give it a timeline because I'm paranoid, but because you never know if something goes wrong with the printing process. Because I'm having to print the books in advance so that they're the nice quality
But
that
Anna,
you guys deserve.
In the meantime, everyone should go get the $10 copy.
Yeah, just go get it. It's $10.
It's $10. Think about it. That's Starbucks. Starbucks will easily run you more than $10 now. You get the book Eat Happy for the cost of Starbucks. And by the way, Anna will be signing her book down in Irvine. She's graciously agreed to come to Irvine and sign her book at my event, the Irvine Improv. Folks, get there.
When
it's
is
like
that?
a love
October
fest.
27th?
October 27th. Buy your tickets now. Go online. It's $20 a ticket.
You know who needs to come to that? Who has no excuse?
Who?
Remember Dan Montplaisir? How do you say his name?
Yeah,
Daniel?
Dan Montplaisir.
Montplaisir?
Yeah.
Dan, you better be there.
Yeah, you
buddy.
better be there. Everybody, Ruel needs to be there. Jojo
Ruel's
Baxis
not in
needs to
Orange
be
County,
there. Huh?
Is Ruel in Orange County?
No,
He's in
like
NorCal.
in Northern Cal. He was down here. He was like near me last week.
Shut
But
up.
I was rushing to get out of town to go to Louisiana and
Oh, that's right.
totally blanked on it. He was literally about 20, 30 miles away from me.
You jerk.
I am a jerk. I need to go. I need to meet that guy. I love that guy.
He's the best.
He is the best. So, folks, the Irvine Improv, go
Come
do
down
that.
and see Vinnie's Big Fat Show at the Irvine Improv. It's going to be great.
It becomes a love fest. I think fans are hooking up at those events, Anna.
Really?
Yeah. I got some insight on some of this.
You want to meet your future boyfriend or girlfriend? You better get your ass down to Vinnie's Big Fat Show in Irvine.
Anna, we know that from this podcast, people have been married, people who have met
That's true.
online.
Yep.
And been married. There's another one getting married this fall.
We have NSNG babies.
I was invited to the wedding, but I will be in Europe during the wedding, so I won't be able to make that. But yeah, we have NSNG babies that were made from this podcast. It's been around for 4 years, and now people are hooking up at the events. So, folks, if you're a loser, dude. You could probably pick up on some pretty hot tail by going down to the Irvine Improv, $20 ticket to get in. Buy it now. Go to VinnieTorres.com. It's called Vinnie's Big Fat Show. If you want to get laid at an event, if you want it to be like the 1960s, like Woodstock, 1973, come to the Vinnie event.
Plus, me and Vinnie are going to be doing LSD
Oh, yeah.
before the show, so it's going to be just like Woodstock.
Yeah, I'm going to get one of those old buses, and I'm going to paint it all different colors, like the
Daisies.
Partridge Families. Put daisies on it, and we're going to do a big love-in.
All right, great.
Yep.
I'm in.
Yep. Folks,
I'm in.
If you like what you hear here, great. Go to VinnieTorres.com, click through the Amazon banner, put a little coal on the fire, get the train down the track. And when I say get coal on the fire, go buy Anna's book, Eat Happy. And that's all we're going to say about that. On behalf of Anna Vocino, my name is Vinnie Tortorich. Put life into living and do it with the greatest loving person of all time, the mother of Maya Rudolph, Minnie Riperton, singing one of my favorite songs.
Check out more podcast episodes on iTunes. Follow Vinnie and Anna on Twitter or contact us with your fitness questions at VinnieTortorich.com.